What's up, Vloggy Pilots? Vloggy Pilot Show here. I figured it was time to make another update. Talk to you guys some more. I got a few things to talk about in this video. So I know I had 3 things, but right now I can only remember 2 of them. So hopefully the third one will come back to me at some point. First thing is Let's Plays. I got some Let's Plays news. I've kind of been thinking about it, and Fallout New Vegas is such a deep Let's Play for me, and it's hard to explain this. Basically, there's some Let's Plays where I start up the game, I start up Fraps, I talk for 20 minutes, I plunk that into Vegas, it renders for an hour, I upload it, and that's the video, and that's that. That's all there is to it. That's what Spec Ops was. Which, by the way, I'm now done filming Spec Ops. I got so sucked into that game, I played through the whole thing in like 3 or 4 days. That's the first time that's happened to me in so long. It is amazing. It is so amazing to get sucked into a video game again. I swear, like, I was experiencing it like I haven't in a long time. It's been like, I feel like it's been like at least a year since I've been in this zone where I'm sitting at work, or back then it was like at school, and I'm bored in class or I'm bored at my desk, and I just think, what video game am I going to play when I get home? And all early this week, all I could think was, I'm going to play Spec Ops. I'm going to make some more Spec Ops videos. I haven't been that excited to make a Let's Play video in a long time. It was killer. I really enjoyed that game. It was very compelling. I will not spoil anything in this vlog. I just will say that I really enjoyed it, and it's 12 parts. So you can kind of expect that kind of pacing. And I gotta say, it had so many good things in it. I haven't played too many shooters, so I'm not really an expert on the genre. I can't rate it compared to other shooters. But compared to other games I've played, it was pretty good. It definitely stands out. Like it was. I'm reluctant to even compare it to Halo. Halo hardly even fits into the shooter category. It's so sci-fi and artificial. It's sort of like in a whole different realm from like the Call of Duty type games. Anyway, so Spec Ops is done, and oh, it was so great to be that sucked into the game again. It's very, very good. I'm on a roll, so I'm starting a new Let's Play. I'm going to actually start recording it tonight, but you guys won't see it. I remember the third thing, because my beard itched. That's what it was. It was the beard. I'm starting a new Let's Play tonight, which you guys won't actually see. I'm recording it tonight. I mean, you guys won't see the videos for a little while. So you guys on the vlog channel will get a heads up early. My next Let's Play is going to be BioShock. I think people have been asking me for this for like at least 2 or 3 years. I've seen it. Oh, just finished downloading. Awesome. I've seen requests in the comments for it whenever I mention what game I should do next. Yeah, at least 2 or 3 years people have been asking for BioShock. And somebody in the comments in Spec Ops actually said, this game's kind of out of character for you. And I was like, that's kind of true. I don't really play gritty shooter games. So I figured BioShock would be a nice return. It's a little bit more fantasy-esque. It's a little bit more light. And we're going to earn some good karma, too. That much is for certain. We're going to need that for Spec Ops. You'll see. So that's the Let's Play news. I'm very, very pleased with the way that I'm feeling about my Let's Plays right now. And part of it is that I realize that I'm not... I guess I've had a sort of a change in motivation. Because I'm really focused... I'm sort of trying to refine the way that I make Let's Plays. Because back in the day, like 2011 or so, when I was sort of in the heyday of my get sucked into a game and make a 100 video long Let's Play, like Ocarina of Time, I had the free time, and I was willing to spend the free time to play through that game twice to make that Let's Play, because I was playing through it to record Classic Quest, and at the same time I was playing the campaign again, or actually I was using it as a practice file, and then doing the dungeons in Master Quest, so that I could make a Divergent Let's Play series where it shows Ocarina of Time, Classic Quest, and Master Quest in 2 different playlists. But the overworld portions are actually from the Classic Quest bit, but it's the same, so it doesn't matter. I'm actually really proud of that Let's Play. That took a ton of time. I think I worked on that one for like 5 months before it was done. But so like those extended projects I used to be able to do because my attention span was so long, I could just get sucked into a video game forever. I don't really have that anymore. So I'm kind of refining my Let's Play palette, and I'm going to try and play shorter games so that I can do shorter series. So there'll be more of them, but they'll be shorter. And I'm basically starting with like the shortest games I have, which is why one of the reasons I went for Spec Ops is I looked on, there's this website called howlongtobeat.com, that will tell you how long it takes to beat a video game, which is a really useful piece of information, not only when you're buying a game, but also when you want to Let's Play a game. Because when you're buying it, you think, I need to get my money's worth. I don't want to pay $60 for a 10-hour game. It's like, oh. But then you also don't... Actually, people did pay $60 for Spec Ops, but there's multiplayer, so yeah. But then when you're making a Let's Play, you want to know in advance, how many videos is this going to end up being? You don't want to start it thinking it'll be a 4-hour game and it ends up being a 40-hour game. It blows your plan out of the water. So Spec Ops, it said, would take 6 hours. And for 12 videos, about half hour each, it worked out pretty accurate. So that site seems to be spot on for my speed of the way I play. So it was good. It was good. And so I looked on there for Bioshock. It says 12 hours. So I'm thinking like 25 videos for Bioshock, and that's still not too long. I could do like 25 to 40 videos for a series, but I don't want to take on another really big project at the same time as New Vegas, because New Vegas is sort of the opposite to Spec Ops in terms of Let's Plays. For New Vegas, for me to even make a video, I have to make sure that I have my laptop sitting here next to me, booted up with my character spreadsheet up like I'm playing D&D, because I have it planned so precisely. The whole goal of this character plan is that when I get to level 50, we can look back on the character and say, I regret nothing, because all the decisions were planned in advance. We're not going to make some dumb call for our perk at level 12, and then at level 30 go, that was dumb, why did we take that perk, it's useless. So they're all planned out, so hopefully that situation can be avoided where we look back and go, oh, I gimped my character, whoops, wish I'd taken that perk. So, but that means I also have to, I'm getting the reward of not having to worry about what happens next because it's already planned. But that means I have to have the plan available all the time. So I have to have that booted up. And I make changes on the fly occasionally too, so it has to be on the computer, otherwise I just print it out. That would be easier just to mark it down. So, and then New Vegas also tends to have a lot more cuts. Whereas Spec Ops, I pick up the controller, I play for 25 minutes, I get 25 minutes of footage. For New Vegas, if I walk halfway across the Mojave, or if I fast travel, if I go to shop and sell gear, or whatever, I'll cut that out. And so I could end up with anywhere from the exact amount of time I played worth of footage, or like a third of my playtime ends up being good footage. So sometimes to make a half-hour video, like for that survivalist video, I think maybe 2/3 of what I recorded ended up in that video. And it was still like an hour and 10 minutes long. So the whole thing took me like 2 hours or so to make. And I was cutting out all these pieces from like traveling around and checking maps and like confirming where I was starting from and then looking up things, and it was like all that gets cut out. And New Vegas has a lot more cutting out, has a lot more planning in advance. And so it basically becomes like a thicker Let's Play in the sense of how much I have to go through to produce the video from start to finish. I'm getting the weirdest sense of deja vu. Have I talked about this before? I'm not sure. Anyway, that's topic number 1, Let's Playing. We'll put a hat on that. Look forward to Bioshock coming next. Don't spoil it for the pilots on the Angry Poncho channel. They don't get to know in advance unless they subscribe over here. So, next thing, No Shave November. It is now, November 20th, I believe? And I have come to the sad conclusion that I cannot grow a beard. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, I don't know, see if my webcam will focus on this. I'm looking under my glasses, so I can't tell if it actually focused on the beard or if it was still focused on the space behind me. But the conclusion I've come to is that 90% of my facial hair is on my neck. And it just doesn't make for an attractive beard. I could grow a really nasty neck beard. So, like, if I wanted to gain 50 pounds and quit my job and become a NEET, like, I would totally have the beard covered. That part would be no problem. But if I wanted to actually grow, like, a real beard, like a chin strap, kind of, like, not even close, I don't have the genetics for it. Like I don't even think my dad could really grow a proper beard, and he's 50, so it's not like it's just not going to grow in because I'm too young. I think it's just genes. I don't have a thick beard gene. So I'm going to stick it out to the end of the month, just out of curiosity to see what 1 month's growth looks like. This has been elucidatory. That's not the right word I want. This has been illuminating for me because I learned that the neck hairs, not only are there more of them, but they grow like twice as fast as the mustache. So it's like, I got like the worst deal of facial hair. But I'm going to stick through to the end of the month just because, I want to see. I want to see what the final result looks like in all its gnarliness. So if people take photos on Thanksgiving, I'm going to look at those photos next year and go, ooh. Third thing, I did some computer repair recently, and this was an interesting experience for me, so I figured I'd mention it here. My computer had been having problems for a long time, maybe like 6 months to a year, where when I booted it up, when I turned it on from a cold boot, the fan, one of the fans in the back, was really loud, like a like literally that loud. I'm not exaggerating; it was quite loud. Uh, and it would do that for the first 5 minutes after I started it up, and then it would whoa 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 whoa, and it would stop completely, and it would never go on again. So it's like that's not how the fan is supposed to work at all. But it didn't bother me that much because it was silent most of the time. And it's like, oh, it's probably not a big deal. And I took everything out and I dusted it all and I checked and it was like there's something in the way. It's not like the fan is like running into a cord and making like a foop, 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 foop noise like a baseball card and a bicycle wheel. No, it's just a loud whirring. Like it was, I don't know. I could never just figure out what the problem was. But so I tried all kinds of things and it didn't work. So I just left it and I had it just whir really loud for like the first 5 minutes for like 6 months. And then it progressed. I guess it was like a degenerative disease. It progressed to the next stage, where now it was whirring constantly, and it was so irritating. I couldn't make videos. Like even if I had wanted to, like a couple weeks ago, I couldn't have made videos because the fan was so damn loud. You would have just heard that constantly in the background noise as I'm talking. And it was super obnoxious. So like the day after it started, I was just like, forget this. Like I don't even have the patience to order something on Amazon and wait another 2 days. I opened the computer up, I ripped the fan out, which is this is the broken one, and I walked with this in my hand into Best Buy. Like I am not walking out of here without a replacement for this. Word to the wise, don't go shopping this time of year. Just stiff. Oh, what's the term for not? When you stiff a waiter, that means you didn't give him a tip. Is there a term for going to a holiday and not bringing gifts? I feel like it would be like stiffing the waiter, but I don't know if there's actually a word for that. Maybe it's just called being a douchebag. Or being really poor. I don't know. Or being a kid. Kids aren't expected to buy Christmas gifts for other people. You just gotta like, I don't know, make like a rock with a heart on it for your mom. I don't know. We all did that. Anyway, so watching the Best Buy with a piece of hardware in my hand. And it was really funny because I don't think of myself, I try not to be like elitist. I try not to let my knowledge in some specific categories make me feel like I'm better than anyone else or to bring me like a false sense of superiority, because it is a false sense. Because just because you know a lot about something doesn't mean that you're smarter than someone, it doesn't mean that you're better than them. Because honestly, there's probably some things that they know a lot more about than you do. Like a construction worker has so much more detail about like how a house is put together that to the point where I'm like hardly even comfortable on a third floor where he's probably like, yeah, it's no big deal. But taking a computer apart, I would probably be able to win that one. So, but it was weird for me. I felt like I was like in the wrong place when I walked into Best Buy with a piece of hardware in my hand, and there's like all these soccer moms comparing iPhones. I was like, I feel like I'm in a different category of like techie, you know? Because the way that I perceive technology, and this is something that I've observed at work over the past year or so as well, because it's a little strange to me. It seems like the people who are the most technologically proficient, like the most geeky, technologically savvy people you meet, are not the people who go out and buy the newest, most awesome phone when it comes out, whether it's an Android or an Apple phone. It seems like those people have like some old phone from like 2012 that still works and they don't want to buy a new one. They're cheapskates. The guys who like refuse to pay for operating systems and run Linux on everything. It's like, it's weird. It's just kind of funny that the people who are most up to date on cell phone technology are not the same people who are most up to date on computing and hardware technology. So I feel like walking into Best Buy knowing what this is separates me from like probably 90% of even Best Buy employees, because most of the time a Best Buy employee is helping people pick out their new phone or their new laptop for their kid who's going to college. That's probably like half of Best Buy sales, right? People getting laptops to go to college, people buying new phones. Like, what else would you go to Best Buy for? A graphing calculator? Like, I don't know. I guarantee you almost no one walks in there wanting a new power supply for their computer, which is what this is, by the way. That plug there is the power plug for the computer, and this is in the back top of the tower, and this is the fan that was making the noise. And these are the cords that connect to the things inside the computer. This one goes onto the motherboard. this one also goes onto the motherboard. I think this one provides power to the processor, if I'm not no, actually, this one might power the whole board, because I think this one powers the processor dedicated. And then two of these, one of them went to my hard disk, and one of them went to my CD drive. So I learned all about that. When I took this thing apart, I took pictures of everything on the inside of the computer. And it was interesting for me because prior to this, my experience with computing like hardware has been limited to opening the container, spraying the dust out, and closing it again. I bought canned air just for that, which is fun to use, by the way. I wish I had a cat, you know. So I actually opened this up and figured out, like, oh, look at all the cords. Look at them attaching to different parts of the computer. Like, I wonder how this really works. So I learned enough to be able to take it apart, and then I was hoping get another one that was going to be able to replace it and then install the replacement. I managed to do it. But I tell you why I felt like I was in the wrong place at Best Buy. Not only did it seem strange that I was there for a totally different reason than everyone else, it took me forever to figure out where the hardware was. I would ask one of the employees. I would be reluctant to ask in the first place. But that day it was impossible because I guess like the Christmas shopping season has already started. I thought that started on Black Friday. Like, isn't that like the day that everyone does their Christmas shopping, and then after that it's like scrambling to get it all done? People have already started. There were tons of people there shopping for phones and computers and stuff, and like every single Best Buy employee was engaged, like trying to make a sale. I don't know if they're on commission or what, but they were all like working their asses off. So I figured I'd just wander around until I found it, and they had like a whole section for like giant televisions, and there's like literally like an apartment-sized area for TVs. There's like a big area for laptops. There's like an aisle for each brand of laptops. There's like a whole section for phones. And I'm like, where's the hardware? I checked on BestBuy.com. They have the hardware that I want. Because I found one that was a replacement for this. And I was like, where is it? And so I wandered around. I finally found it. It was literally one layer of one shelf, 3 boxes wide. It was like this much. It was literally this much of the store was power supplies on one shelf. Like they have like a football field sized store. This much space for power supplies. Like, I'm amazed they even had them in stock, to be honest. After I saw that, I was like, damn, I feel like I got lucky. But for 20 bucks, I walked out with a power supply way better than this one. I couldn't believe it. Hardware is so cheap now. I'm definitely going to build a more powerful computer when I get my bonus next year. So I bought it for 20 bucks, came home, and I installed it because I was very carefully matching the way I'd installed this one. And I plugged everything together, booted it up, and hey, the computer works. Now, this fan is different. It doesn't run loud at startup, and it doesn't stop afterwards. It runs constantly, but it's very quiet. I don't know, this microphone is kind of a room mic, so you probably hear like the ambient humming that rooms make when you... I don't know why microphones do that. It must be some imperfection in the way they're designed, that they hear like a humming air noise in rooms that are silent. But in this room, you actually would, if you were sitting here next to me and we were both quiet, you could listen and hear a very, very slight humming. Like, it's quieter than the disc spinning in an Xbox. It's very quiet. So I'm totally fine with it. And I've already gotten totally used to it. It's not a big deal. I recorded all of Spec Ops with that fan in there. I guarantee you can't hear it at all. So I was pleased with that. It kind of gave me some satisfaction to have done a little hardware repair for the first time in my life. Even though it was a very basic thing, it was fun and satisfying. And it gave me a little bit of courage to try and do a full build my own computer in the spring. That'll be an exciting adventure there. I'll actually make vlog videos, maybe one big video, documenting my experience of planning all the parts and then finally putting it together and firing it up. That'll be super awesome. That'll be. I kind of have more experience. I kind of have more courage after this little experience. So I think that's about it. So a little summary. Repaired my computer. Nasty beard. Bioshock is coming up next. So thanks for watching. See you guys in the next vlog.